Hi there, it's Julia Bramble here, the social marketing scientist, and oh hi, A Gardening, what a great name. And I help businesses easily identify and do the 20% of social media marketing that they need to do to get the results they need. Oh hi, AFPB96, that's a bit of a mouthful to read out, but hi, nice to have you here. You can see the sunset going on behind me, so I thought I'd treat you to a little bit of pink cloud today, as well as my ugly mug to look at. And what inspired me to talk to you today is that I've been doing a bit of research, a bit of sleuthing on various people, particularly, oh hi, MLM Secrets Form, nice to see you here. Please fire any questions across, won't you? Don't be shy. It's okay, you don't have to get to show your faces like I do mine. But no, I've got some training sessions coming up soon that I'm actually running for clients on their behalf. And what I like to do when I'm running those training sessions is do a lot of background work and immerse myself as much as possible in the worlds of the people who I'm going to be doing social media training for. So I've been doing a little bit of sleuthing around recently, and a lot of that sleuthing has been on Twitter, because it's actually very easy when you know what you're doing to go and find out, oh, hi, love me, Slender, nice to see you, to go and find out a lot about a business or a person by looking on Twitter. You can search on Twitter using keywords in that search bar up at the top, so you can bring up not only the Twitter profiles of people with that particular keyword in that profile, but you can also bring up tweets. Oh, thank you for the hearts. That's very nice. And they were pink ones as well, my favourite colour. So any more pink hearts would be lovely. Thank you. If you don't know how to give a heart, all you have to do is tap on the screen, by the way, if you're new to Periscope. So yes, go and do some sleuthing on Twitter by using keyword search, and you will bring up profiles and you will bring up tweets about particular keywords. And you might also bring up lists that other people have compiled, where they pull everybody together for you. How cool is that? So they've done all the hard work to get them there for you. But what I wanted to say really was that I've been going out doing some sleuthing into people and what they share. And recently I've seen a couple of businesses out there on Twitter who have been quite active. That's great. Oh, thank you. I got a blue heart this time. They've been quite active, but their content has really surprised me, because these are businesses that I know quite well. And so there was a certain expectation, I guess, when I went to see what they were doing on Twitter, to see what sort of content they've been sharing, because I know that they've got a big following, they've got lots of customers, and I also happen to know what their customers love about them. But, oh, thank you, another heart. But these businesses in question had, obviously and not surprisingly, handed over their Twitter accounts to their marketing departments to look after. And that's great. Twitter obviously sits within marketing. But the unfortunate thing was that then the marketing people were sharing stuff that was relevant to marketing and to what they were doing in their day-to-day, and not actually the content that would be really hugely relevant to the current customers of these businesses, and also, therefore, potential customers. So just as an example, one of the businesses I was looking at is obviously going out and taking a lot of stands at events as a way to generate new leads and new interest in their business. And that's great. And so, as you would expect, the tweets that they are putting out are talking about the fact that they're going to be at this event coming up, which is great. And that's a really good tip, actually. If you're going to be at an event, make sure you talk about it beforehand on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you are on social media, to really amplify the results that you would get from being at that event in the first place. Make sure you get more people coming to visit you at your stand. So they're talking about these events on their Twitter, and that's great. They'll be encouraging more people to come along. And they talk about the events after they've been there as well, which is also marvellous, because that's amplifying the effect. They show, oh, there's the donkeys off again. If you've seen any of my previous periscopes, you might have, well, you won't have seen the donkeys, but you might have heard them in the background. There they are again, joining in the conversation. But this business was sharing lovely photos of the people they'd met at these events, and the topics they talked about, and the fact that their stand had been really busy, and that's great. But that was it. Their entire Twitter stream for about the past 2 or 3 weeks was just talking about being at events. The before, the lead up, which events they were going to be at, come and see us at this event. And then the after, the photos and how lovely it was and how busy it was. Oh, hi, nice to see you. Banagas, nice to see you. And that's lovely. That's certainly one side to the content that we could share out on Twitter. But I know for a fact that that's not what this business is about. And if you just had a look at that Twitter feed and didn't look at anything else about this business, if you happened to come across them on Twitter and you saw, or maybe you saw their website, oh, thank you for the heart, it was another pink one, and you thought you would go across and check them out on Twitter, you would be, thank you for the hearts, you would be forgiven for thinking that all this company or this business did was take stands at events. And actually, I know for a fact they do an awful lot more than that. There are masses of reasons why their customers love them. They've got huge numbers of customer testimonials that they could share, both on video and written. They've got masses of photos from events they run themselves. They've got masses of content that they actually could share within the company, and all they're talking about on their Twitter stream are the events that they are taking stands at and the people they've met at their events, which is a bit sad, because actually they could be adding so much value to the customers they've already got and to potential customers if they just thought a little bit more about why they're on Twitter in the first place and what they're hoping to achieve. Because the minute you think about why you're using social media and what it is you want to achieve, then you will start thinking about who you need to interact with to achieve what you want to achieve. And when you think about who you want to interact with, all of a sudden you'll be thinking about what they'd be interested in, what they'd be interested in finding out about, and you'd be thinking about what they might love about you the most, judging by what your current customers love about you the most. And that will help you to guide what content you could share. So gone are the days when your marketing department might look after your Twitter and just be publishing stuff about marketing and what they do on the day-to-day. We need to be thinking about sharing behind-the-scenes stories, things that entertain your potential customers, things that show your personality. Even the most boring of businesses have a personality, and they have funny stories that go on behind the scenes. There was a vet practice I was having a quick look at on Facebook a few months back for some training I was doing, and they had a lovely story that they'd shared out there where during some redecoration that had taken place, accidentally a big can of green paint got spilt all over one of the vet's cars, and it made the perfect story to share out there on Facebook, along with some of the stories of the cases they got in and the work they did and the training they did. So think about really showing the personality of your business, maybe some stories about your customers. Customer success stories are always lovely. Maybe some stories about your suppliers, and definitely some stories about your staff. And then think about the kinds of questions your current customers ask and want to know, because your potential customers would love to know them too. Think about stories and content that are created by other people that you can share as well. Oh, hi, Medium Paul. Nice to have you with us this evening. Think about sharing content that's created by other people as well. It doesn't have to be all your content. No, not for sure. Oh, hi. Thanks for the hello. And think about also what you can share that will engage the people that you're talking to. What will get them to respond to you? And what's the number one thing that we can do to get people to engage with us, to respond to us? We can ask questions. So sharing content and asking a question at the same time is a great way to start conversations. Oh, hi, Adri Vietnamita. Oh, I'm rubbish with trying to work out what names are and how I should pronounce them on the fly, so I apologise if I got that wrong. So we're talking about how to put out there a really rounded, Barcelona, how lovely. Oh, thank you for saying hi from Barcelona. Oh, hi, David Pop, nice to see you as well. I went to Barcelona in 1998 and haven't been back since, but we're hoping to go on holiday to France in a place that's going to be quite close to Barcelona, so I'm hoping I might get a quick whiz over there again because it's such a gorgeous city. So we're talking about trying to put together, I know I need to come back, I definitely shall. If I do, I shall have to look you up because I'm sure it's changed since we were there nearly 20 years ago. Goodness me. I bet the tapas is still the same, they're yum. So we're talking about having a well-rounded content strategy and not having it all lopsided. A lopsided content strategy is, I think, where you focus on one thing and one thing only. And maybe that one thing is one aspect of your company, as we've talked about, or maybe that one thing is just one form of content. So maybe all you do is share text updates, or maybe all you do is share photos. And we know that photos and images. Oh, hi, Life Guidance app. Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining us. We know that photos and videos get a great response and a great engagement rate. Oh, hi. Thank you for the hellos. Hi, Manu Magician. And hi, Xavier Vidal 77. Nice to have you here. Thank you for all the hearts. That's lovely. Really appreciated. So let's try and move away from just sharing one. Oh, thank you so much for the hearts. From sharing one type of content, whatever that is, on our social media, whether that's just the type of content that we're showing, maybe all text or all images, or maybe even all video, even if we know that we get a good response to that. Not everybody is going to want to see an image every time they come across you, and not everybody responds well to images anyway. Let's mix it up a little bit. But let's also mix up the messages. Let's have some content that maybe asks questions, as we've talked about, so that you can start to get a conversation going. Some content that's quite light-hearted, maybe at the weekends when you know that your audience might be relaxing. Thank you for the pinky heart, that matches my scarf. When they might be relaxing and wanting just a little bit of light-hearted entertainment. We could be sharing some harder-hitting articles or some more challenging pieces from time to time. We could also be sharing humorous stuff, and those little background stories that I was talking about would work very well there. But also, and a lot of businesses forget this because we don't like to shout about ourselves, do we? We can be very shy. Also share those customer success stories, those testimonials, those things that will attract new customers to you because of what other people are saying. They can be, oh, thank you for the hearts. They can be the best and the strongest ways to pull new people towards you. Thank you for the hearts. That's really kind of you. So let's stop being shy about our successes. And we don't have to put it out there as if we're boasting. We don't have to say, oh, yay, I got this great testimonial, how marvellous. What we could say is put it in a very personal form. You could say something like, we were absolutely delighted in the office today to receive this testimonial, or, oh, you made our week such and such by giving us this lovely quote, and then you can go out there and quote it. So you can share this news, this good news, in a very personal way, but in a way that lets the rest of the world know just how much your customers love you and what they love you for. And that will help you to attract the right people to your business who will want to do business with you based on your value and your unique selling point rather than based on cost or based on price, which is absolutely not the kind of people we want to attract to our business. So think about the whole mixture of content that you can be sharing. Facts, humour, light-hearted stories. We want to be sharing things about our personality that are going to draw people in. We want to be sharing testimonials and PR stories. If you get featured in the paper, on the local radio, make sure the world knows about that. If you're in a magazine, oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that's helpful and true. I think we forget to share all that we can very often. We're sitting on a lot more content in our businesses than we realise. and there is a whole spectrum of what we can share out there. So facts, stories, jokes, images, videos, behind the scenes stories, testimonials, PR stories, other people's content, articles. You know, by the time you've gone through that list and then asked yourself, well, what are the top 10 things? Thank you for the hearts. What are the top 10 things that my customers or my potential customers ask all the time? Then actually you've probably got enough content there that you could put together a nice 2-week content plan. And then when you come to your computer or your iPad or whatever it is tomorrow, and you're thinking about, oh goodness me, what can I share on social media? Actually, you won't need to panic, because you'll have thought it all through beforehand and planned it all out. So save yourself from lopsided social media content. Give yourself half an hour to sit down and think about those ideas that I've shared in this video today. And maybe even write yourself out a little Excel spreadsheet with the category of content, thank you, down the left-hand side, and some ideas for posts or images or videos that you could share against those. And then you can plan out actually what you're going to share over the week and over next week, along with, thank you so much for the heart, along with news that's going on in your business, with events and promotions that you've got going on. Oh, hi Liz, nice to see you. Thank you for joining me. Think about getting it all together into, oh, thank you for saying hello, and thank you for the hearts. That's so kind. Lovely and red. Beautiful. It's like Valentine's Day. So think about collecting all those thoughts together, taking out half an hour to put all those thoughts together and then putting them all into an Excel spreadsheet. And before you know it, you will have your social media content planned out, and it won't be lopsided. It will cover the full spectrum of what you need to be sharing out there. And you will, as my good friend Nigel Bottrell often says, you will have done the hard work to make the selling easy, as he would have said. But in this case, it will be to make your social media marketing easy. Because the more prep and planning you can put in, the less scary and the less overwhelming it will be for you. And I'm sorry for those of you that have just joined, but I'm going to be signing off now because it's actually almost dark over here, and I don't think anyone's got any questions that they're going to ping across. But this Periscope will be available, obviously, to replay. Oh, thank you, Liz. Lovely to see you too. It will be available on replay for the next 24 hours. I will have caught it over on Catch Me. Oh, my goodness, the donkeys are saying goodbye as well. It will be, I'll share it onto my, if you can hear me, I'll be sharing it onto my Facebook page, which is Julia at Bramblebuzz Social Media. And I'll also whack it up on my Twitter from time to time, which is at Julia Bramble. So you've got numerous places you can come and check it out. Oh, thanks, Paul. Thank you for saying thank you. That's really useful. If you've got any questions, or if you think of any questions after this, please, and thank you for the hearts, please don't hesitate to ping me a question over on Twitter. I'm at Julia Bramble. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions over there. Thank you for the hearts so much. So please whiz across and join me there. It'd be great to carry on the conversation. But I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you so much for joining me, and see you again very soon. Thanks then. Goodbye.